In today's session, I'm actually going to be telling you a story about a deal that I've got bubbling and is very close to fruition. And I'm going to tell you the mechanism behind the deal. And because if I'm honest, I thought what I structured here was genius. In actual fact, the person that I'm doing the deal with was actually really surprised by it as well. So before we do that, just going to remind you that this is sponsored by the Property Investor app, which is the UK's first property investment platform, which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK, whether it's a below market value deal, a rent to rent deal, lease option deal. We've got them all there now. Go and check it out. There are two ways to get involved. You can either go to the website, which is propertyinvestораpp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. Just as a reminder, if you've got a question that you want me to answer, go to my website, which is www.arshilahi.com/ask Arsh. And on that page, you can either leave us a voice note or you can leave us a web inquiry. And as always, you can remain completely anonymous. That's completely up to you. So I've been walking past this building for quite a while and I've seen that it's been up for sale for a long time. I kept thinking, shall I, shan't I, shall I, shan't I? Anyway, I contacted the agent and I said, guys, okay, maybe interested. I want to come over and have a look. And after I've had a look, perhaps I might want to have a chat with the owner direct to see if there's a deal that can be structured. So it's a large office building, best part 20,000 square feet. So it's a decent size. It's an office building. So from the recent success of my office building in Wolverhampton, I'm now looking at more commercial to residential opportunities, just purely because you get more, I think you get more building for your money, basically. So this building offers over 1.5 million. So it's a decent lot size. And I instantly thought to myself, do I want to do this? Do I need to do this? But there's an itch with this building. I don't know. There's something about this building that is crying out to be converted. So anyway, I went and had a look at it, and it is an absolutely beautiful building. It has got literally, it's fully open plan. So I can do what I want, where I want, how I want with it. It's got lots of windows. It's got lots of facilities. It's got everything that you need it to be. So you got offices on the ground floor. Then you got two further floors above. You got a huge basement, and all these all have space. And I was looking at it, and I've been there now 4 times. So first time was initial. Second time was the second viewing. Third time was with my builder. Fourth time was with my architect. And all of us all agree. The building is phenomenal. What we can do with it, what we're aiming to get out of it is commercial on the ground. We're going to retain the commercial on the ground. So at the moment, it's got one massive open space. We're going to drop that into perhaps 4 decent size, smaller units as opposed to one massive open space. On the first and second floor, we're actually going to turn them into, we're going to turn them into residential apartments. Like to think that across the 2 floors, we're going to get the best part 40 apartments. In the basement, got a huge basement which spans the whole of the building, possibly looking at a storage facility down there. So we're going to utilize every single space that we've got. Best thing is that building has got parking as well. So it really ticks all the boxes. As well as that, we've got potential space to go above. So it's a flat roof. So we've got space to go above as well. So potentially we could increase and put another floor on top. Whether we do that or not is a different question. So anyway, I went to the agent acting on behalf of the owner. I said, guys, okay, I'm interested, but I want to negotiate with the owner direct. I want to do that in almost like a boardroom style manner where the owner and the agent was in the same room so that they could both see what I was proposing. And the building that they wanted offers over in excess of £1.5 million. I just came straight out with it. I said, guys, I'm not interested in buying it straight away. I'm going to want 5 years with this. The owner's face dropped. He kept thinking, why is this guy wasting my time? I said, well, hang on, because there's definitely some mileage in this building. So basically, these guys bought it the best part of a year ago. They had a company in there that was servicing the building. When I say servicing the building, they had a 25-year lease on the building. But what the current buyers or what the current owners didn't know is that there was a break clause within the contract. And they never thought that this company, which was a blue chip company, was ever going to exercise that break clause because they'd been there a long time. And on the day that they needed to exercise the break clause, guess what they get? They get a letter saying, sorry guys, we're leaving the building. Now, these guys were paying the owners the best part of £150,000 a year in rent. So to go from £150,000 a year in rent to zero is a big drop and a big nail in the coffin. So now these guys have now got an empty building, gone from £150,000 a year to zero. It's been sat empty for the best part of, I'd say, 6 months. Building is in the process of being vandalised. You can see that people are trying to break in and trying to strip it. They haven't physically got in yet, but it's only a matter of time. So I put all these pain points into my presentation. I said to them, guys, here's where I am. And what I structured to them, in essence, was the lease option, because I wanted to get some certainty that I was going to get planning. Now, originally, I thought commercial to residential, piece of cake, no issues with planning. What I didn't really factor into the equation is that next door to the building, it's actually a listed building. Now, I didn't know this, if I'm honest, perhaps a bit of naivety or perhaps a bit of lack in my knowledge. But if your building next door is listed and you're trying to do commercial to residential, the permitted development rights is no longer available to you. And as a result, that means that now I have to go through the whole process of planning, which makes it a little bit more risky, but also makes it a little bit more exciting. So between me, my builder, my architect, we sat down, we started looking at this floor plan, and we started saying, what can we do within certain parameters where it's not going to raise the eyebrows of any planners? And we've come up with a scheme. We've come up with a great scheme. Now, off the back of that, I've now sat down today with the owner again. I've said to them, guys, now I've got a better idea. Now, I understood that these owners don't have any debt on this building. So I structured the deal in a completely different way, where now they transfer me the building at the full asking price. Now, why would they do that? Because now I become the owner, and in essence, they've done me a vendor finance deal. And off the back of that, I've structured it where the interest which is owed, because in essence, they've lent me the money to buy the building off them, I roll that up until it comes to the end of the term. So in essence, I've taken, or when I say I've taken, we've agreed a deal where I don't pay them a penny for the building until I've got the planning and everything. And I thought that was pretty amazing. The agent was gobsmacked when I presented it to him this afternoon. And he kept saying, but Arsh, hang on, so you're not putting any money in? And he kept coming up with this question. I said, but think of all the benefits. I said, your client has got a property now that is vandalised, that was worth 1.5, no longer is worth 1.5, but I'm offering 1.5. They're lending me 1.5. They've got first charge, they've got security. They're no longer a part of the equation. As well as that, on that 1.5, I'm going to give them interest on that 1.5. When we talk about 1.5 million pounds, going to give them interest on that 1.5 million pounds. Whether it be 1 or 2 years, we're going to structure it over 3 years perhaps. So, and we work on a 5% interest rate charge, but the interest is only payable once I get planning, or perhaps at the end of the first year. And then these were the terms that were agreed. So end of year 1 is when the interest is payable. So I can take control of the building almost immediately. I can go off and get planning permission. Now my plan is that I'm going to go off, get planning permission. And then because now I own the building, even though they've got first charge on it, once I got planning permission, that would have increased the value of the building. Now off the back of that, I'm now going to refinance. I'm going to pay these guys their money that they lent me initially. They're now out the equation. We'll probably go off and either get secondary debt or development finance to build the scheme out. Whether I do that or not, or whether I then decide to sell the scheme, completely up in the air at the moment. But we need to ensure that we get it approved. We need to ensure that we can get it moving, and it has ticked all the boxes. The only person that was really annoyed about this was the agent. But I had a separate call with the agent after. I said, have you sold the building? He goes, if it all goes through, yes. I said, are you getting paid? He goes, if it all goes through, yes. So does it matter whether I put in a penny or £1 million? He goes, when you look at it like that, he goes, not really, because the reality is the transaction is complete. I'm getting paid by the owner. And he goes, the only thing that bothers me is that the owner's not got any money yet, and now he's going to have to pay my fee. Let's say 2% at £1.5 million. My maths, let's say, is that 30,000 plus VAT, 36,000. So the owner's going to have to pay 36,000 for that transaction. But I said, ultimately, he would have to pay you that regardless. But he goes, but yes, they would have had some money to pay me that. I said, these guys are not short of a few quid. They own a £1.5 million building. I don't think 36 grand is really going to rock their boat. And when I started to put it in terms like this, the agent says, you know what? He goes, you're a smart guy. He goes, even the owner, who's a finance director of a national motor company, on the call that the agent had with him after we had our call, he goes, I would never have even thought of structuring a deal like this. And he goes, fair play. He goes, yes, they've agreed to it. Got to get all the heads of terms and we're going to get going. So I'm really chuffed. I'm a little bit scared. Don't mind saying that. It's been a while since I dipped my toe into large developments, because then it feels like I'm going backwards, because in my book, Being Bust and Back Again, we had some really great times in developments, also had some bad times in developments, but I've got the lessons. I know what I need to do. And what's kind of spiked my interest in doing commercial to resi again was the fact that the building that I bought, which was now my offices, which I think you've probably seen on my YouTube channel, I bought it for 525. I had the option to buy it at 525. I actually have had that recently valued. Remember, I only did this in February. I've now had that valued at 1.2 million pounds, and all I've spent on the building approximately is about 100,000. So I think these aren't the kind of gains that you can get from a HMO or a buy to let. Doubling your money within the space of 4 months aren't the kind of gains that you're going to get from running a HMO or a small block of apartments. So for me, this kind of almost like whetted my appetite. I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can do this again. So it's reignited my interest in doing developments. Whether I've gone probably too big with this one, we'll see. Time will tell. But I've done it in a manner where it's not costing me anything. So what have I got to lose? I know what I've got to lose, but obviously there's always risk attached to it. But I'm looking forward to it. Be interesting to get your thoughts on what you think of this deal. So if someone said to you, here's a £1.5 million property, I'm going to transfer it over to you. We're going to charge you interest of say 5%, but you don't have to pay it until the end of year one. By that point, you've got planning, and hopefully by that point, you've increased the value of the property, and it's cost you nothing to do that, perhaps other than professional fees. My question to you is, would you have done that deal? Feel free to reach out. Go to my website, arshilahi.com/contact, and let me know what your thoughts are on this deal. So there we have it, guys. 2023. What a year it's been so far. What deals have we done so far? We've acquired 2 hotels, Blackpool, 26 office building. Now we're about to acquire this office building, as well as that number of other mini HMOs and stuff acquired. So lots gone on in the first half of the year. It's kind of when I sit down and talk about it like this, it's almost like a mind dump for me. And it's kind of crazy to think of what's been achieved this year. And even though I'm meant to be slowing down towards retirement, kind of stepped it up a few gears. And I'm actually enjoying the journey. I'm going to be documenting this all the way through, if I'm honest. Don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and then hit the notification bell. As well as that, if you're with me on social media, started to post a lot more on Instagram and TikTok. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Clubhouse. On that note, guys, really hope that you've enjoyed the session. Hopefully you've become inspired by it, just to let you know that deals like this can be done, and people are doing them without any of their own money, but you've got to have the skills and the know-how to do that. So on that note, guys, really hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.